The Force is light and full of shadows. Before we dive in, check the link in the description if you want exclusive Timelines members-only videos you won't find on YouTube. All on our Patreon. The city planet glows beneath a dying sun. Traffic streams between the towers in rivers of light. Endless, tireless, eternal. Somewhere out there in the dark between stars, the war grinds on. Clone battalions fighting droid armies. Jedi generals leading men bred to die. A republic, tearing itself apart from the inside while its citizens pretend not to notice. But here, in apartment 3297 of Republica 500, the war feels distant, private, almost unreal. Anakin Skywalker stands on the veranda overlooking the Coruscant skyline. He's just returned. Hours ago, barely time to shower and change. The Invisible Hand mission, rescuing Chancellor Palpatine from General Grievous. Killing Count Dooku with 2 quick strikes, while the Sith Lord knelt unarmed and helpless, begging for his life. Palpatine's voice still echoes in his head. Do it. And he did. He should be exhausted. Should be processing what he's done, crossed a line he can't uncross, executed an unarmed prisoner because the Chancellor told him to. Should be debriefing with the Council, explaining how a flagship crash-landed on Coruscant's surface, and somehow everyone survived. Instead, he's here, with her. Padmé Amidala approaches from inside the apartment. Senator from Naboo. Former queen. The woman he married in secret 3 years ago on a lake terrace while the galaxy burned. The woman the Jedi Code forbids him to love. The woman he loves anyway. More than the Force. More than the Order. More than his own life. She sees his face. Tension in the jaw, worry in the eyes, something underneath that she can't quite name. Relief and fear fighting for space. What is it? She asks, voice gentle, concerned. Anakin turns to look at her. He tries to smile. Nothing. I'm just so happy to see you. But his eyes betray him, the mechanical hand flexing at his side. The weight of what he's done today pressing down on shoulders that have carried too much for too long. The darkness he felt on the invisible hand, not fear, not anger, just cold certainty, when he looked down at Dooku's severed head and felt nothing. Padmé steps closer. She takes both his hands in hers, flesh and metal, warm and cold, both of them hers. Anakin, whatever it is, we'll face it together. We always have. She steadies herself, takes a breath. She's been waiting for this moment, for the right time, for him to come home safe, for a moment of peace in a galaxy that offers so few of them. I have something to tell you. The words hang in the air between them. Anakin's eyes search hers, worried, wondering. Anakin, Padmé says, and her voice is soft and certain and terrified all at once. I'm pregnant. Silence. 1 second. 2. And then, time fractures. Not breaks. Not shatters. Fractures. Like transparent steel struck by a hammer. Cracks spreading outward from a single point of impact, reality splintering into before and after. Anakin's eyes go wide. Not with joy. Not yet. With shock. Horror. Recognition. Something vast and terrible flooding in from a place that should not exist. 23 years. Slamming into his consciousness like a star destroyer into a planet's gravity well. Not visions of the future. Not Force premonitions. Not glimpses of possible timelines. Memories. Lived. Experienced. Suffered. Endured. The operating table on Mustafar. The smell of his own burning flesh. Medical droids swarming. Sith technology rebuilding what the lava destroyed. Screaming, vocal cords shredded, lungs seared, the agony so complete that unconsciousness would be a mercy, except the dark side won't allow mercy, won't allow escape, only the endless now of pain. The mask lowering, sealing, the first mechanical breath, KHHHH, never stopping, never ending. 23 years of that sound, every breath a reminder, every inhale a prison sentence renewed, the feeling exact, visceral, inescapable, of his legs ending, mid-thigh, stumps cauterized by lightsaber and lava, phantom limbs that scream in nerves that no longer exist, prosthetics that weigh more than the muscle they replaced, the suit, the prison, the machine that keeps him alive and won't let him die. Padmé, on the landing platform, Naboo's ship descending, her face terrified, pleading, tears streaming. Anakin, you're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow. His hand rising. Not wanting to, but raising anyway because the rage is too big, the betrayal too raw, because she brought Obi-Wan here to kill him, and he can't see past the red anymore. Force choking her throat constricting, eyes bulging, collapsing on the ramp. Unconscious. Dying. Her funeral. Naboo. Traditional ceremony. Beautiful and unbearable, her body laid out in white and gold, still visibly pregnant. The children, Luke and Leia, his children. Children he'll never hold, never know. Buried with their mother. Palpatine's voice in the medical bay, synthesized through the vocabulator for the first time, unfamiliar and hateful. It seems in your anger you killed her. No. Vader's roar, the operating table buckling beneath him. Droids crushed by invisible hands. The room destroyed. The rage. The grief. The emptiness that will never, ever be filled. The Emperor's throne room. Decades later. Another life. Luke Skywalker, his son grown, Jedi, the last hope of a dying rebellion, facing Palpatine. Lightning arcing through the boy's body. Screaming. Convulsing. Dying. Father, please. The only choice that ever mattered in 45 years of life. Lifting Palpatine, throwing him down the reactor shaft, the lightning burning through life support systems, frying circuits, stopping the respirator. Dying at last. Dying free. Luke's face above him, the mask coming off, seeing his son with his own eyes, not the red lenses, not the sensors, real eyes, real light. Tell your sister, you were right. The last breath, not mechanical, natural, his own, all of it. 23 years of Darth Vader's life, compressed, downloaded, forced through the consciousness of Anakin Skywalker, 22 years old, standing on a veranda on Coruscant in the half-second between hearing I'm pregnant and responding. His knees buckle. He drops, hard, onto the polished floor, hands clutching his head, not screaming, can't scream too much, too overwhelming. The human brain was never designed to hold two complete lifetimes simultaneously. Just gasping, tears streaming down his face, body shaking like a ship tearing itself apart in hyperspace. Anakin! Padmé drops with him, terrified. What's wrong? What's happening? She tries to pull his hands away from his head, tries to see his face, but he's somewhere else entirely, somewhere she can't reach, trapped between two lives, two selves, two futures colliding in the space behind his eyes. He sees her, alive, breathing, healthy, worried, here, and he sees her dying, her funeral, her buried with their children who were never born. Both versions overlapping, real and not real. Memory and present, past and future collapsed into a single impossible moment. The tears aren't from fear. They're from relief. Profound, overwhelming, devastating relief that breaks something in him that's been holding on too tight for too long. Because she's alive, right now, in front of him, breathing, healthy, warm, real. Not dying, not choked, not buried. And he knows, with absolute, terrible certainty, exactly how to keep her that way. He pulls her close, wraps both arms around her, flesh and metal, both shaking. Trembling not with fear but with the weight of knowledge, the burden of certainty, the crushing responsibility of a second chance he never thought he'd get. Nothing is wrong, he whispers, voice cracking, breaking on every word. Everything is finally right. Padmé holds him, confused and frightened, her hands in his hair, feeling the tremors running through him. Anakin, you're scaring me. What's happening? Please, talk to me. He pulls back, looks at her with eyes that are still blue, still Anakin's, but something else lives behind them now. Something older, wiser, harder, sadder. The eyes of a man who has died and been reborn, and knows exactly what that cost. I know what I have to do, he says, and his voice is steady now. Controlled. Not the passionate, impulsive Anakin she knows. Something colder. More focused. More certain. I won't let him touch you. I won't let the darkness anywhere near you. I swear it on my life. I swear it on theirs. His hand moves to her stomach. Not showing yet. But there. Real. Alive. Possible. Luke. Leia. His children. They don't have to die hidden and separate and orphaned. They don't have to grow up never knowing their father except as a nightmare in black armor. Not this time. Who? Padmé asks, searching his face. Anakin. What are you talking about? He stands, helps her up. Gentle, careful, protective in a way that's different from before. Not the passionate protectiveness of youth, but the grim, methodical care of someone who has failed once and will die before failing again. Palpatine, he says, and the name tastes like poison. Chancellor Palpatine. He's the Sith Lord. Darth Sidious. He orchestrated this entire war, both sides, every battle, every death. He's been grooming me since I was 9 years old. Since Qui-Gon brought me to Coruscant. Private meetings. Lessons about power. Questioning the Jedi teachings. Planting seeds. He looks at her directly. It's all been leading to this moment. To you. To our children. To me desperate enough to do anything to save you. And in another life, another timeline, I fell. I became his apprentice. Darth Vader. And I killed you trying to save you. Padmé stares, every instinct screaming impossible. But she's a politician. She's spent 10 years reading people, detecting lies, navigating deception. She looks at this man, her husband, the father of her children, and finds no deception, only terrible, absolute certainty. Anakin, that can't be true. How could you possibly? Because I lived it, he says quietly. I don't know how. I don't know why. But the moment you told me you were pregnant, 23 years of Vader's memories hit me all at once. I remember everything. The suit, the pain, your death, our children growing up without us, the Empire, all of it. He takes her hands. What I'm about to tell you will sound insane, but I need you to trust me. Can you do that? Padmé looks at this man she's loved since she was 14 years old. She married him, broke every rule she believed in. She carries his children inside her. Always, she says. Anakin takes a deep breath, centers himself, then begins. In another timeline, another life, I became Darth Vader, enforcer of the Galactic Empire, Palpatine's apprentice, his weapon, for 23 years. He doesn't look away, doesn't soften it, just truth, raw and unfiltered. I helped him execute Order 66, a hidden protocol in the clone programming that commands them to kill all Jedi. I led the 501st into the temple, killed everyone inside, masters, knights, Padawans, younglings who trusted me, who looked up to me, children, Padmé. I killed children. Padmé's hand covers her mouth, horror, but she doesn't interrupt. Then I went to Mustafar to eliminate the Separatist leadership. You followed me, tried to bring me back. I accused you of betraying me, of siding with Obi-Wan against me, and I force-choked you, while you were pregnant, with our children. His voice cracks but continues. Obi-Wan and I fought. He cut off my legs, my arm, left me burning in the lava. Palpatine found me, rebuilt me in a suit, a prison of metal and pain that kept me alive but never let me be human again. For 23 years. He looks down at his mechanical hand, flexes the fingers. You died, Padmé, giving birth to twins, Luke and Leia. They survived, separated, hidden, raised apart. You were buried on Naboo, still pregnant, because I killed you. My anger, my fear, my darkness. I killed the woman I loved more than life itself. Tears on his face, but voice steady. The Empire ruled for decades. Palpatine as Emperor, me as his enforcer. Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith, hunting down the last Jedi, terrorizing the galaxy, until Luke grew up, became a Jedi, confronted me, showed me there was still good in me, still light. He meets her eyes. I killed Palpatine, threw him down a reactor shaft to save Luke, and I died finally free of the suit, finally able to breathe on my own, finally able to see my son with my own eyes. And somehow, some way, the Force gave me these memories. Right now, the moment you told me about the pregnancy, so I could stop it, all of it, before it begins. The silence that follows is absolute. Padmé sits, processing. Every political instinct, every analytical skill she's honed over a decade in the Senate. Engaged, pieces clicking together, Palpatine's emergency powers. The convenient separatist attacks, The war dragging on when it should have ended years ago. Anakin's unusual relationship with the chancellor. The private meetings, the trust, the influence. How do I know this isn't? Her voice quiet, controlled. Stress, the war, the things you've seen. How do I know this is real? Because I can prove it, Anakin says immediately. Palpatine will ask me about my dreams. Tomorrow, maybe the next day. He's going to plant nightmares in my head, or amplify the ones I already have. Force visions of you dying in childbirth, to drive me to desperation, to make me willing to do anything to save you. He stands, begins pacing, Vader's tactical mind organizing, planning. He'll offer me a seat on the Jedi Council in 3, maybe 4 days. As his personal representative, the Council will grant it but deny me the rank of Master. Create resentment, division, exactly what he needs. Padmé leans forward, and Obi-Wan, sent to Utapau within 72 hours, to hunt General Grievous, get him away from Coruscant, away from me, when Palpatine makes his final move. He kneels before her, takes her hands. I know things I shouldn't know. Vader's memories. 23 years of Imperial systems, Sith teachings, political manipulation, military strategy. All of it downloaded into my mind, and I'm going to use it. Not for the dark side. For you. For our children. For the light. Padmé searches his eyes, sees truth. Terrible, complete, undeniable. What do we do? Anakin's smile is grim, determined. Vader's certainty applied to Anakin's heart. We fight, together, in the light, not the shadows. No more secrets, no more lies. We dismantle him piece by piece before he knows we've already won. He stands, pulls her up gently. 3 things we need to do. First, neutralize Order 66. I know where the protocol is, how the chips work. I can corrupt the programming. Make it useless. Second, expose Sidious to the Senate and the Jedi. With proof. Undeniable. Public. Destroy his political power before he can consolidate it. Third, eliminate the threat. When he's cornered, when he reveals himself, we end him. Permanently. Padmé's mind is already racing. Senator? Strategist? Fighter. I can handle the Senate. Bail Organa. Mon Mothma. Others who've been resisting the emergency powers. We build a coalition. Present evidence. Force a vote. But Anakin, if this is true, if Palpatine is a Sith Lord, he won't go quietly. I know. Anakin's voice is cold. Certain. Vader's certainty. When cornered, he'll fight. He'll unleash everything he has. That's when Obi-Wan and I end him together. Obi-Wan knows? Not yet. Tomorrow morning, before his council debrief, I tell him everything. About us. About Palpatine. About what's coming. Padmé stands, walks to the window. Coruscant glitters below, beautiful and oblivious, a galaxy on the edge of everything changing. In your other timeline, she asks quietly, what did I do when I found out? Anakin's voice is soft. Sad. I never told you. I kept secrets. Let fear control me. By the time you knew anything, I was already too far gone. She turns, looks at him. This man who just described becoming a monster, killing her, destroying everything he loved, and came back to prevent it. Then we do what you didn't. We trust each other, completely. She crosses to him, takes his face in her hands. Luke and Leia, our children, they're going to be born healthy and safe in a galaxy at peace. Because we're going to end this, together. Anakin pulls her close, forehead to forehead. I love you more than anything, more than the Jedi, more than the Republic, more than my own life. I know, she whispers. I love you too. They stand together, holding each other as Coruscant's lights begin to glow brighter against the darkening sky. Tomorrow, everything begins. Tonight, they plan. Jedi Temple. Morning. Obi-Wan Kenobi's quarters. The room is Spartan. Simple. Pure Jedi aesthetic. Meditation mat. Few personal items. Hollow projector on a small table. Window overlooking Coruscant's endless cityscape. This is the space of a man who has dedicated his life to the Order, and requires little else. Obi-Wan sits cross-legged on the mat, eyes closed, attempting to meditate. Attempting being the key word. He's exhausted from the Invisible Hand mission, rescuing Palpatine, fighting through a separatist flagship with Anakin, nearly dying multiple times, watching Grievous escape, watching Anakin execute Count Dooku. That last part troubles him most. The execution. An unarmed prisoner. Not the Jedi way. Anakin insists Palpatine ordered it. Heat of battle. Difficult choice. But something in Anakin's voice when he said it, something flat, distant, final, didn't match the passionate, impulsive Padawan Obi-Wan has trained for 13 years. Still, exhaustion is clouding his judgment. He needs to center himself, find clarity, report to the council with a clear mind. A knock at the door. Come in. Anakin enters, and Obi-Wan senses it immediately. The shift in Anakin's force presence is dramatic enough that Obi-Wan's eyes snap open. The signature feels older, colder, more controlled, like someone else wearing Anakin's face. Anakin, you're up early. I thought you'd be resting after. I need to talk to you. Anakin's voice is flat, direct. No preamble, no social niceties. Private, important. Before your council debrief. Obi-Wan stands, concerned. Of course. What's wrong? Anakin closes the door, locks it, turns to face him directly, then drops the bomb. I'm married to Padmé Amidala. She's pregnant with my children. Twins. And Chancellor Palpatine is Darth Sidious, the Sith Lord we've been hunting for 13 years. Silence. Obi-Wan stares, processing. Surely Anakin is joking, testing him somehow, stress fracture from the war manifesting as some kind of breakdown. But Anakin's face, deadly serious. No humor, no uncertainty. Just cold, hard truth, delivered like a tactical briefing. Anakin, this isn't funny. I'm not joking. Anakin steps forward. Palpatine will offer me a council seat tomorrow or the next day. As his personal representative, the council will grant it but deny me the rank of master. Create resentment. You'll be sent to Utapau within 72 hours to hunt Grievous. He wants you away from Coruscant when he makes his move. Obi-Wan's hand instinctively moves toward his lightsaber hilt. How? How do you know this? Because I lived it. Anakin's eyes meet his, unflinching. In another life, another timeline. I didn't trust you. Didn't tell you about Padmé, about the pregnancy. Let fear consume me. I became Darth Vader, and I helped Palpatine murder you and every Jedi in this temple. The name, Vader, lands like ice through Obi-Wan's spine. I led the 501st into the temple, killed the younglings, then went to Mustafar. You followed, tried to stop me. We fought. You cut off my legs, my arm, left me burning in the lava. Palpatine rebuilt me in a suit, a prison of metal and pain, for 23 years. Anakin's voice doesn't waver, doesn't break, just truth, horrible and complete. There's a protocol hidden in the clones called Order 66. It commands them to execute all Jedi as traitors to the Republic. When Palpatine gives the order, every clone across the galaxy will turn on their Jedi generals, kill them without hesitation, no choice. Pure programming. Obi-Wan sits heavily on his meditation mat, mind racing. This is impossible, insane, but Anakin's eyes. He's known this boy, this man, for 13 years. Trained him, fought beside him, saved him and been saved by him more times than he can count. Never has he seen Anakin like this. Why are you telling me now? Because you're my brother. Anakin's voice cracks for the first time, emotion breaking through the tactical composure. And this time I'm not choosing the Jedi code over people I love. I'm choosing both. I'm choosing truth. He kneels, eye level with sitting Obi-Wan. I know you could report this to the council. Call me delusional. Arrest me for breaking the code. But I'm asking, begging, trust me. Just verify. Test my predictions. If the council offers me a seat tomorrow, you'll know I'm right. Obi-Wan looks at his former Padawan, his brother. Sees not the boy he trained, but a man who has lived, suffered, died, and somehow come back. You really believe Palpatine is the Sith Lord? I don't believe. I know. Anakin stands. He's been grooming me since Tatooine, since I was 9. Private meetings, lessons about power, questioning Jedi teachings, planting seeds for doubt, all of it leading to this moment where I'm desperate enough to turn to save Padmé. But you're not desperate. No, because I know the dark side doesn't save her. It kills her. I killed her. My anger. My fear. That's what Palpatine wants me to forget. That darkness destroys everything you love. Obi-Wan stands slowly. Paces. 13 years of Jedi training warring with 13 years of knowing Anakin. If this is true, if Palpatine truly is Sidious, the Council must know. We must act. Anakin's hand on Obi-Wan's shoulder. He's too powerful politically. Too entrenched. We expose him too early, he escapes. Consolidates power. Triggers Order 66 before we can disarm it. We have 3, maybe 4 days to set the trap. Then we end him. We? You and me. When he's cornered, when he reveals himself, we fight him together, the way we should have the first time. Obi-Wan looks at the hand on his shoulder. Mechanical. Has been since Geonosis, but now carrying the weight of 23 years in a prison of metal. Tell me about Padmé. Anakin's face softens. Just slightly. I love her. Have loved her since Naboo. Married her 3 years ago after Geonosis. Broke every rule. I don't regret it. Won't apologize for it. She's everything to me. And the pregnancy? Twins. Luke and Leia. Due 5 months from now. They're why I'm here. Why I'm telling you everything. Because they deserve to be born into a galaxy at peace, not an empire of darkness. Obi-Wan closes his eyes. Deep breath. When he opens them, decision made. I don't need to believe in time travel or force visions or any of it. I only need to believe Palpatine might be the Sith Lord. And Anakin, your evidence is compelling. He extends his hand. We verify together. If the Council offers you a seat tomorrow, I'll know you speak truth. Then we plan. Properly. Carefully. The Jedi way. Anakin takes the hand. Grips it firmly. No, not the Jedi way. The right way. Truth. Trust. Brotherhood. No more secrets. No more dogma. Just doing what's necessary to protect what matters. They shake. Not master and Padawan. Equals. Brothers about to change everything. One more thing, Obi-Wan says. Padmé, I'd like to meet with her properly. Not as a senator. As your wife. If we're trusting each other completely, I should know the woman you love enough to break every rule for. Anakin smiles. First real smile since the memories hit him. She'd like that. Tonight. Our apartment. The 3 of us planned together. Then it's settled. Obi-Wan sits back down on his mat. Processing. Anakin. If you're right, if Palpatine truly is Sidious, this will tear the Republic apart. I know, but we'll build something better from the ashes, a galactic alliance, not a corrupt republic, not an empire, something new where Jedi can love, where clones are people not property, where democracy actually means something. You've thought this through? I've lived 23 years under Palpatine's empire, watched it crush everything good. I know exactly what we're fighting for. Obi-Wan nods slowly. Then I'm with you. Brother, Republic of 500. Evening. The apartment. Padmé, Obi-Wan, Anakin, sitting around the main room's low table. Data pads spread out. Holoprojector, displaying maps and intelligence reports. Not a social gathering. A war council minus the war plus the conspiracy. Obi-Wan arrived an hour ago. Awkward at first. Senator Amidala and Jedi Master Kenobi. Formal and professional. The weight of the code between them. Then Padmé extended her hand. Master Kenobi, thank you for coming. For trusting Anakin. For trusting us. And Obi-Wan took it. He's my brother. You're his wife. That makes us family. Unusual family, perhaps, but family nonetheless. Now, planning. First priority, Anakin says, pointing to a datapad displaying clone communication protocols. Order 66. The inhibitor chips. Bioorganic implants in every clone's brainstem designed to override free will when the command is given. Obi-Wan studies the technical specifications, Vader's knowledge compressed into understandable formats. These chips, they're in all the clones. Every single one. Millions across the galaxy. Camino programming monitored from a central facility on Camino itself. But I don't need access to the facility. Just need to corrupt the protocol. How? I have general clearance, access to clone communication frequencies. I create a virus. Targeted broadcast on the command frequency. Doesn't remove the chips. Too detectable. But it corrupts the Order 66 subroutine. Replaces it with a null command. Padmé leans forward. How long to deploy? I upload tonight. Propagates in 48 hours. Silently through the clone network. By the time Palpatine realizes, it's too late. His nuclear option, disarmed. And he won't know until he tries to use it. Exactly. Second priority. Padmé activates the holoprojector. The Senate chamber appears in miniature, rotating slowly. Political exposure. We need undeniable proof Palpatine is the Sith Lord. Can't rely on testimony or force evidence. The Senate needs something concrete. Anakin reaches into his jacket, pulls out a small device, barely the size of a comlink. Micro recorder built into my mechanical arm. When Palpatine talks to me tomorrow about dreams, about power, about the dark side, I record everything. That's incredibly risky. If he senses the device, he won't. It's not electronic, mechanical. Old technology. Analog. Vader learned how to hide things from Force users. This is one of them. Studies it. We'll need more than philosophical discussions. We need him to incriminate himself specifically. He will. Anakin's voice certain. He'll mention Darth Plagueis, his master. The power to prevent death. He always does when he thinks he's close to turning me. Arrogance. His weakness. Then I take the recordings to Bail Organa and Mon Mothma. Build a coalition. Call an emergency Senate session. Force a vote to strip his emergency powers. Call for his arrest. Obi-Wan interjects. That's when he reveals himself. Publicly. No more hiding. And that's when Anakin stands, walks to the window overlooking the endless city. We end him. You and me together. The way it should have been. Silence. Heavy. Obi-Wan and Padmé exchange glances. This plan is insane. Dangerous. Arguably treasonous. Also necessary. There's one variable, Obi-Wan says carefully. The Council. When they offer you the seat as Palpatine's representative, how do you react? Anakin turns. I accept. Play the role. Dutiful Jedi. Frustrated but obedient. Give Palpatine what he expects. A young man conflicted. Vulnerable. The perfect target. And when they deny you the rank of master, I show resentment. Controlled but visible. Exactly what he wants to see. Drive a wedge between me and the Council. Make him confident. Build his arrogance. Padmé stands. Crosses to Anakin. You're playing both sides. That's a dangerous game. I've done it for 23 years as Vader. Served the Empire while a small part of me stayed light. Stayed Anakin. I know how to lie, how to perform, how to survive. This time I use it for us. Obi-Wan rises. Tomorrow, Council session in the morning. I'll observe. When they offer you the seat, I'll know you're right about everything. Then we proceed with full commitment. Agreed, Anakin. Padmé's voice soft. Worried. When you fight him, Palpatine, you and Obi-Wan, can you win? Anakin looks at her. Vader's certainty in Anakin's eyes. Yes, because I know his fighting style, his tactics, his techniques. I've spent years fighting alongside him against Jedi. I know every move he'll make, every trick he'll try, and I'll counter them all. Besides, Obi-Wan adds with a slight smile, I'm told we make quite a team when we actually trust each other. Anakin returns the smile. The best in the galaxy. They stand together. The three of them. Husband, wife, brother. About to commit treason against a corrupt republic to save it from itself. Tomorrow, Anakin says, everything begins. Tonight I deploy the virus to the clones. Padmé, you prepare Bail and Mon Mothma for what's coming. Obi-Wan, you verify my predictions. Then we move. Together, Padmé says. Together. Obi-Wan agrees. For the light, Anakin finishes. Not Jedi light, not Sith darkness. Just truth, love, family. The things worth fighting for. They clasp hands over the center of the table. Three against a galactic conspiracy. 3 against a Sith Lord masquerading as chancellor. 3 people who trust each other completely. In another timeline, secrets destroyed them. In this one, truth makes them unbreakable. The war is about to change. Night, Republic Strategic Command Center, Military District, Coruscant. The facility is massive, a fortress of steel and transparasteel rising from the government sector like a monument to war. Inside, it coordinates the entire clone army, fleet deployments, strategic operations, battle plans streaming across 1,000 systems, the war's nervous system, all flowing through this building. Heavily secured, military personnel at every checkpoint, clone officers monitoring communication arrays, Kaminoan liaisons overseeing the technical infrastructure that connects 3 million soldiers to their commanders. Anakin Skywalker approaches the main entrance, general's uniform, credentials ready. R2-D2 rolling beside him. Just an astromech droid. Unassuming. Innocent. The perfect hacking interface. Security checkpoint. A clone trooper. CT. 5241 by his identifier. Salutes sharply. General Skywalker, sir. Late night. Strategic review. Anakin's voice is calm. Casual. The lie delivered with Vader's practiced ease. Preparing for the Utapau offensive. Need access to fleet deployment records. Of course, sir. The trooper waves him through without hesitation. Your clearance is active. Level 7 access granted. War never sleeps. The Republic never rests. Anakin navigates with certainty. Vader's memories provide the layout. Imperial command centers had similar designs. Different flag, different uniform colors, same function. Turn left at the 3rd junction. Server room. Isolated section. Minimal personnel. Perfect. He reaches another checkpoint. This one staffed by an officer. Human, mid-40s, name tag reading, Taras. General, this area is restricted. Network infrastructure. You'll need specific authorization for. Anakin extends his hand. A slight gesture. The force ripples outward. Subtle but irresistible. You will grant me access. The officer's eyes glaze slightly. Mind trick taking hold. I will grant you access. You will forget I was here. I will forget you were here. The door slides open with a pneumatic hiss. Anakin and R2 enter. Alone. The server room hums with barely contained power. Banks of processors floor to ceiling. Blinking lights in patterns that would overwhelm human cognition. Every clone communication. Every order. Every status report. All of it flowing through this room like blood through a heart. Anakin kneels beside R2. R2, I need you to interface with the primary network node. Over there. He points to a central console. Concern in the modulation. I know it's dangerous. If we're detected. If we're caught. But I trust you. You've saved my life dozens of times. Now I'm asking you to save millions. R2 whistles. Affirmative. Determined. He rolls to the interface port. Extends his scomp link. Plugs in. Immediate data flow into R2's memory banks. Access granted through Anakin's credentials. Anakin pulls out a datapad, preloaded with virus code written last night after Obi-Wan left, using Vader's knowledge of inhibitor chips, Imperial programming, clone control systems. 23 years of maintaining death machines, put to better use. The virus is elegant, surgical, doesn't destroy the chips themselves, too obvious, too detectable. Just corrupts the Order 66 subroutine, the specific protocol, replacing the activation code with a null command. Clone receives Order 66. Chip tries to activate. Finds nothing. No programming. No compulsion. Just static. Anakin begins the upload through R2's interface into the clone communication network. Progress bar appears on the datapad. 1%. 2. Slow, methodical. Can't rush this. Can't trigger security protocols. While waiting, Anakin closes his eyes, reaches out through the force, feeling the building, personnel above, below, around him, sensing for danger, for discovery, for Palpatine's presence. Nothing. The chancellor is elsewhere, Senate chambers or private offices. Not here. Not sensing this. 5%. 10. R2 beeps. Warning. Security scan incoming. Routine, but close. How long until the scan reaches us? Whistle. Translation in Anakin's head from years of working together. 90 seconds. 15%. Not fast enough. Anakin's mind races. Vader's tactical training engaging. Options. Possibilities. Abort. Hide. Fight. Deceive. R2. Can you fake a maintenance protocol? Make the scan think you're official tech support? Affirmative beep. R2's programming shifts. Broadcasting false credentials. Maintenance droid running diagnostics. Nothing to see here. The security scan passes over the room. Registers authorized general, authorized droid, routine maintenance. Moves on. 20%. 30. Anakin exhales. Close. Too close. This is risk. Immense risk. If caught, court-martial, treason charges, execution. Everything unravels before it starts. But necessary. Order 66 is Palpatine's trump card. The kill switch for the Jedi Order must be neutralized first. 40%. 50. Vader's memories surface. Unprompted. Unwelcome. But informative. The temple burning. 500 first troopers. Helmets marked with blue. Marching through halls that should have been safe. Blasters firing. Jedi falling. Masters he'd trained with. Knights he'd fought beside. All of them screaming. Dying. Not understanding why their own soldiers were killing them. Younglings huddled in the training room. Looking up at Vader. At Anakin. With trust. With hope. Master Skywalker. What are we going to do? The silence before he ignited his saber. Anakin's eyes snap open. Breathing hard. Not again. Never again. 70%. 80. Almost there. Almost safe. R2 whistles. Another warning. Different this time. Network administrator. Physically approaching this sector. Time? Beep. Translation. 2 minutes. 90%. Anakin stands. Moves to the door. Listens. Footsteps in the corridor. Getting closer. 95%. The footsteps stop. Right outside. Voice through the door. Female. Lieutenant Vass from the identifier in the Force. Section 7 server room. Unscheduled access detected. Investigating. 98%. Door begins to open. 99%. The administrator enters. Young, competent, suspicious. Sees Anakin. General Skywalker. What are you? 100%. Upload complete. R2 disconnects. Scomp link retracting with a satisfied whistle. Anakin turns. Calm. Running fleet diagnostics for the Utapau offensive. Needed raw data from the source. Lieutenant Vaz is suspicious but outranked. Sir, you should have requested access through proper channels. This is... You're right. My apologies. Anakin moves toward the exit. R2 following. Urgency of the mission made me impatient. Won't happen again. Vass watches him go, uncertain, but she can't challenge a general without cause. Anakin and R2 exit the corridor, walking at normal pace. Not running. Not suspicious. Behind them, the virus is already propagating. Silent, invisible. Spreading through the network like a benign infection. Corrupting Order 66 in every clone across the galaxy. Within 48 hours, Palpatine's nuclear option will be dead code. He doesn't know it yet. Next day, Chancellor's office. Senate building. Anakin enters the ornate chamber that has been the center of Republic power for 1,000 years, summoned for a private meeting. Expected. Predicted. Palpatine sits behind his desk, ancient Naboo wood, polished to a mirror shine. Red guards stand at attention by the entrance. The Chancellor's smile is grandfatherly, warm, the same expression that has fooled the galaxy for decades. Anakin, my boy. Come, sit. I've been wanting to speak with you about recent events. Anakin sits, plays the role. Respectful, slightly uncertain. The Padawan eager for approval from a father figure the Jedi Council never provided. Chancellor, you've done remarkably well. The Invisible Hand mission. Rescuing me from Dooku and Grievous. The Republic owes you a great debt. Just my duty, sir. Palpatine leans forward. Concern etched on features that have practiced this expression in mirrors. But I sense trouble in you, my young friend. Have you been sleeping well? Any troubling dreams? Here it is. The setup. The manipulation beginning exactly as Vader remembers. Anakin hesitates. Perfectly timed. I don't know what you mean. Come now, you can trust me. I've known you since you were a child. If something is troubling you, you can share it. Anakin looks down. Vader's performance deployed for the light instead of darkness. I've been having vague concerns about someone close to me. Nothing specific, just worry. Palpatine's eyes gleam. Hook set. Worry about loss is natural, Anakin, but the Jedi would have you suppress such feelings, deny them. The Jedi say, attachment leads to darkness. And what do you say? Pause. Anakin looks up, meets Palpatine's eyes. I say some things are worth fighting for, worth loving, even if the code forbids it. Palpatine smiles wider. This is the response he wanted. The seed of resentment toward the Jedi, watered by his praise. Wise beyond your years. The Jedi are narrow-minded, Anakin. They fear your power because it exceeds their understanding. But I have no such fear. I see only potential. He stands, walks to the window. Classic manipulation posture, turning away, making the listener lean in, creating intimacy through vulnerability. There are abilities some consider to be unnatural. Powers the Jedi would never teach you, because they fear what they cannot control. Anakin's mechanical arm rests on the chair arm, fingers relaxed, natural. Inside, the micro-recorder activates, triggered by a specific finger position. Analog, mechanical. No electronic signature, recording everything. What kind of powers, Chancellor? Palpatine turns, serious, intense. Yellow eyes hidden beneath the grandfatherly mask, but present, just beneath the surface. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Like what? Preventing death, for instance. Anakin's eyes widen. Perfectly performed. That's possible. In theory, yes. There was a Sith Lord named Darth Plagueis the Wise. So powerful, so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. He could actually save people from dying? The dark side of the Force holds many secrets. Plagueis could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. What happened to him? Palpatine's smile turns cold. Just slightly. A crack in the mask. He taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. Ironic. He could save others from death but not himself. Anakin leans forward, eager, hungry. The desperate young man Palpatine expects to see. Is it possible to learn this power? Palpatine looks directly at him. Yellow eyes flashing for just a moment before the mask reasserts itself. Not from a Jedi. Silence. Heavy. Pregnant with meaning. Anakin sits back. I don't know what to think about all this, Chancellor. You don't have to decide anything now, my boy. Just remember, I'm here for you. Always, if you ever need guidance the Jedi won't provide. Thank you, Chancellor. Of course. Now, I have another matter to discuss. Palpatine returns to his desk, sits, steeples his fingers. The Jedi Council has requested that I appoint a personal representative to attend their sessions. Given recent security concerns and the close cooperation required to win this war. Here it is, exactly as predicted. I believe you would be perfect for this role, Anakin. Anakin blinks, surprised, genuine surprise even though he knew it was coming. Me? But Chancellor, I'm not a master. The Council would never. I've already spoken with them. They've agreed. You will be appointed to the Council as my personal representative. I don't know what to say. Say yes, Anakin. This is a great honor. An opportunity to serve the Republic at the highest levels. Anakin stands. Bows. I'm honored, Chancellor. Thank you. Good. The appointment will be official tomorrow. Now go. Think about what we've discussed. About power. About saving those you love. Anakin leaves, walking at a controlled pace until he's in the corridor. Then faster. Inside his mechanical arm, the recording is stored. Encrypted. Every word. Plagueis. Dark side. Unnatural powers. Preventing death. Incriminating. Undeniable. Perfect. That night, Padmé's Senate office. Bail Organa sits across from Padmé, tall, distinguished, one of the last principled politicians in a corrupted system. Senator from Alderaan. leader of the loyalist faction that has been quietly resisting Palpatine's accumulation of emergency powers. Mon Mothma sits beside him, young, brilliant, senator from Chandrila. Sharp mind, sharper instincts, leading opposition to the Military Creation Act and every subsequent expansion of executive authority. Padmé plays the recording. Palpatine's voice fills the room, discussing Sith Lords, dark side powers, manipulation of a young Jedi toward darkness. Both senators go pale. The recording ends. Silence. Bail speaks first. This is treason. He's discussing Sith philosophy openly, grooming a Jedi Knight toward the dark side. Worse. Mon Mothma leans forward, eyes sharp. This proves he's connected to the Sith. No chancellor should know this much detail about Darth Plagueis unless he was trained by him. Padmé finishes quietly. Or as him. Bail stands, begins pacing. This changes everything. If Palpatine is the Sith Lord, then the entire war has been orchestrated by him. Both sides. We've suspected for years that someone was manipulating the conflict, Mon Mothma says, prolonging the war, consolidating power. But we never had proof. She takes a datapad, begins making notes. With this, we can force a vote. Emergency session. Strip his powers. Call for his arrest. He'll fight. Padmé's voice is quiet but certain. When cornered, when exposed, he'll reveal himself fully. Attack. Then we need protection. Jedi present. Temple guard prepared. Anakin and Obi-Wan will be there. Padmé's voice carries absolute certainty. They know what's coming. They'll end him. Bail looks at her, understanding dawning slowly. You know more than you're saying, don't you? Padmé meets his eyes. I know enough to trust my husband when he says Palpatine must fall. Bail blinks. Husband, you're married to Skywalker. 3 years. Yes. Mon Mothma smiles. Slight. Approving. Good. You deserve happiness, both of you. Then serious again. But this places you in danger, Padmé. If Palpatine suspects you're behind this exposure, I'll be careful. Besides, by the time he realizes, it'll be too late. We move day after tomorrow. Senate session. Special emergency. You present the evidence. I second the motion. Force the vote. Mon Mothma and I will build the coalition. By tomorrow night, we'll have the votes secured. What about the Jedi Council? Mon Mothma asks. Will they support us? Obi-Wan will convince them. Once Mace Windu hears this recording, he'll act. Then we have a plan. Bail stands, offers his hand to Padmé. 2 days from now, the Republic changes forever. Padmé takes it. 2 days from now, we save it. Next day, Jedi Temple, Council Chamber. Anakin stands before the full council. 12 masters in their circular chamber high above Coruscant. Yoda, Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, Shak Ti, Saesee Tiin, Ajin Kolar, the greatest Jedi in the galaxy, and all of them looking at him. Mace Windu speaks. Anakin Skywalker. We have conferred with Chancellor Palpatine regarding representation at council meetings, given the security concerns of this ongoing war. Anakin waits, knowing what's coming. It is the council's decision to grant you a seat at this council as the personal representative of the Supreme Chancellor. Anakin bows. I'm honored, masters. However, Mace continues. Voice stern. We do not grant you the rank of master. The words hang in the air. Anakin's face shifts. Surprise. Confusion. Hurt. All perfectly performed. What? How can you do this? This is outrageous. It's unfair. How can I be on the council and not be a master? Take a seat, young Skywalker. Mace gestures to an empty chair. Anakin sits, rigid, visible resentment, controlled but present, exactly what Palpatine expects to see, what he needs to see. Across the chamber, Obi-Wan watches, subtle nod, imperceptible to others, but Anakin sees it. Confirmation, everything predicted. True. The council continues discussing the Utapau mission, Grievous's location confirmed. Master Kenobi, Mace turns. You will take a battalion of clones to Utapau. Locate Grievous. Engage and eliminate. When do I depart? Obi-Wan asks. Tomorrow morning. Early. Time is essential. Anakin's mind racing. Tomorrow Obi-Wan leaves, day after. The Senate session. Palpatine exposed. Timing tight. Have to move fast. Council session ends. Masters file out. Anakin waits until only Obi-Wan and Yoda remain. Master Yoda, may I speak with Master Kenobi privately? Changed you have since the invisible hand. Yes, Master. I've been thinking about many things. Careful you must be of the dark side. Seductive it is, especially when offering power to save those you love. Anakin's heart stops. Does Yoda know? Can he sense? I'll be careful, Master. Yoda leaves slowly, cane tapping against the polished floor. Alone now, Anakin and Obi-Wan. He knows, Anakin whispers. About Padmé. About everything. Perhaps. Obi-Wan approaches, or perhaps he's simply warning you against the path he fears you'll take. Either way, we proceed. Tomorrow you leave for Utapau. Yes, which means we have one night to finalize everything. Tonight, you, Padmé, and I meet one last time. Then tomorrow I depart. You stay here. Day after the Senate session. And when Palpatine attacks, I'll return immediately. Abandon the mission if necessary. But Anakin, you may have to face him alone. Initially. Until I arrive. Anakin's face is grim. I know. I fought him before. As Vader. I know his style. His tricks. I can hold him until you get there. Don't try to defeat him alone. Promise me. I promise. Just survive until you arrive. Then we end him together. They clasp forearms. Warriors grip. Brothers in arms. Tomorrow? Obi-Wan says. Everything changes. Tomorrow? Anakin agrees. We save the galaxy. 2 days later, Galactic Senate Chamber. The massive circular amphitheater holds thousands. Floating pods, each representing a system, a world, a sector. The heart of democracy for 1,000 years. Palpatine presides from the Chancellor's pod. Central position. Maximum authority. Bail Organa calls the emergency session to order. Senators of the Republic. I come before you today with evidence of treason at the highest levels of government. Murmurs spread throughout the chamber like a wave. Bail continues. I have recordings proving that Supreme Chancellor Palpatine has been engaging in Sith philosophy, manipulating Jedi Knights toward the dark side, and deliberately prolonging this war for personal gain. Palpatine remains calm. Grandfatherly smile. Senator Organa, these are serious accusations. I hope you have substantial proof. I do. Bail activates his holoprojector. Palpatine's voice fills the chamber. Clear. Undeniable. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Like what? Preventing death, for instance. That's possible. There was a Sith Lord, Darth Plagueis the Wise. So powerful, so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. The chamber erupts, shouts, accusations, denials, chaos spreading like wildfire. Palpatine's smile fades, slightly. Bail continues over the noise. Furthermore, I have financial records showing separatist funding traced to shell corporations controlled by the Chancellor's office, communications between his staff and known separatist leaders, military orders that deliberately prolonged battles unnecessarily. Mon Mothma stands. I second Senator Organa's motion to strip Chancellor Palpatine of his emergency powers and call for his immediate arrest pending investigation. Padmé stands. Naboo seconds the motion. Dozens more senators stand. Coalition built overnight. Loyalists, patriots, those who never trusted Palpatine's accumulation of power. The vote is called. Results display holographically throughout the chamber. Overwhelming majority. In favor. Emergency powers stripped. Arrest warrant issued. Republic security forces move toward the Chancellor's pod. Palpatine stands slowly, watching his political power evaporate. Decades of careful manipulation destroyed in minutes. His voice echoes throughout the chamber. No longer grandfatherly. Cold. Ancient. Sith. So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause. His eyes change. Yellow. Burning. The mask dropping completely. I am the Senate. Lightning erupts from his fingers. Galactic Senate Chamber. Chaos. Palpatine's lightning screams across the chamber in blue-white arcs of death. Republic security forces vaporize instantly, bodies falling, smoking. dead before they hit the ground. Senators scream, flee, panic stampede for the exits. Pods scattering, colliding, desperate to escape. The carefully ordered democracy of 1,000 years reduced to animals running from a predator. Palpatine floats his pod toward the main exit, lightning continuing to strike anyone in his path. Bail Organa's pod dives behind a column, narrowly missing a strike that leaves a molten scar on the wall. Get down. Padmé pulls Mon Mothma behind cover. Senate guards form a protective ring around them, blasters raised useless against a Sith Lord. But they try anyway. Palpatine's voice echoes throughout the chamber. No longer human, ancient, terrible. You fools, you think you can stop me? I have brought peace to the Republic. I am the Republic. More lightning. A wall explodes. Debris raining down. Senators crushed, dying, screaming. He fights toward the exit, killing everyone between him and escape. No mercy. No hesitation. Just rage, absolute Sith fury unleashed after decades of pretending to be something he's not. Padmé's guard captain speaks into his comm. All units. The chancellor has revealed himself as hostile. Requesting Jedi support immediately. Palpatine hears. Laughs, a sound like glass breaking over stone. The JEED, they're already dead. Order 66 has been. He stops, mid-sentence, face twisting, confusion replacing rage for one terrible moment. Nothing happens. Across the galaxy, clone troopers receive the command. Order 66. Chips activate. Attempt to execute the programming buried in their brainstems. Find nothing. Null command. Corrupted subroutine. Dead code. Confusion spreads through clone ranks. Sir, we're receiving a garbled transmission. Can't interpret. Jedi generals notice their clones hesitating, looking confused at their weapons, but not raising them, not firing. On Coruscant, in the Jedi Temple, the Masters feel it. Massive dark side surge from the Senate building. Mace Windu ignites his lightsaber. Palpatine, he's revealed himself. All Masters with me. Now, back at the Senate, Palpatine realizes his trap failed. Order 66 compromised. Somehow. Impossible. But real. Skywalker. That boy did something. The rage intensifies. He abandons subtlety completely. Unleashes a force storm, localized hurricane of dark side energy tearing the Senate chamber apart from the inside. Pods rip from their moorings. Senators sucked into the vortex, screaming, dying. The chamber that stood for a millennium disintegrating in seconds. Padmé holds on to a column desperately. Wind tearing at her, trying to pull her into the maelstrom. Guards lost, blown away like leaves. Padmé. Bail reaches for her hand. Misses. Storm separating them. Palpatine breaks through the Senate building's outer wall, steps into the corridor, heading toward his private hangar. Escape ship waiting. Can't rule now. Political power gone. But can escape. Rebuild. Return later, stronger. The Sith endure. Always. He runs down the corridor, lightning blasting doors open ahead of him, then stops. Two figures standing at the end of the corridor, waiting. Anakin Skywalker. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Lightsabers already ignited. Blue and blue. Palpatine's eyes narrow. Anakin, what are you doing? Help me, the Jedi are taking over. Anakin's voice is cold, controlled. Vader's voice through Anakin's throat. You're a Sith Lord, Palpatine. I know what you are. I know what you've done. And I know what you were going to turn me into. Palpatine's face twists, understanding finally dawning. You did this. The clones. The Senate. Everything. You. Yes. Me and my wife. And my brother. We stopped you before you could begin. Your wife. Ha. Palpatine snarls. Padmé. That foolish senator. You chose her over the power I offered. I chose love over darkness. Truth over lies. Light over you. Palpatine trembles with rage. 13 years of grooming. Manipulating. Planning. Destroyed by love. By trust. By honesty. The things he despises most. Then you've chosen death. He attacks. Not with lightning, with his lightsaber. The red blade ignites from his sleeve. Hidden weapon. Perfectly concealed. Form 7. Juyo, spinning vicious unpredictable. He crashes into Anakin and Obi-Wan with inhuman speed. But they're ready. Obi-Wan shifts to Soresu, perfect defense, creating an impenetrable shield, meeting every strike, turning, redirecting, absorbing. Anakin uses Gem So, not the Jedi version, Vader's version. Heavy, methodical, overwhelming. Each block bone-crushing, each counter calculated to corner, pressure, break. Together they move as one unit. When Palpatine attacks Obi-Wan, Anakin counters. When he attacks Anakin, Obi-Wan defends. No gaps, no openings. Just perfect, synchronized brotherhood. Palpatine realizes, for the first time in decades, he's not winning. These two together are matching him. You cannot defeat me. Palpatine spins his blade overhead, bringing it down at Anakin's head. Anakin catches it. Two-handed grip, blade lock. Face to face, but Anakin's not straining, not struggling, just holding, Vader's strength channeled through light-side clarity. You're right, Anakin says quietly. I can't defeat you alone. Good thing I'm not alone. Obi-Wan's blade comes up under Palpatine's guard, forces disengagement. Palpatine leaps back, distance, reevaluating. Impressive. But you're just delaying the inevitable. I am immortal. I am eternal. The Sith cannot be destroyed. Famous last words. Anakin advances. You told Vader that same thing right before he threw you down a reactor shaft. Didn't work out well for you. Palpatine's eyes widen. Vader? You keep saying that name. What does it? It means I've already been you. I've already served you for 23 years in another timeline, and I know exactly how to kill you. Palpatine processes this, impossible, but explains everything. The changed Anakin, the knowledge, the resistance. Somehow, future memories, a force phenomenon beyond even his understanding. No matter. Adapt. He unleashes full power, force lightning, both hands. Massive, sustained blast. Obi-Wan raises his lightsaber, deflecting the energy, scattering it, but he's pushed back, feet sliding across the polished floor. Anakin raises his mechanical arm. Lightning hits it directly, Vader's memories surfacing, showing him how to absorb. Channel. Redirect. The arm glows, energy flowing through circuits. Not destroying. Absorbing. Palpatine increases power. More lightning. Trying to overwhelm. Anakin feels it building. Too much. Too fast. The arm starting to fail. Smoke rising from the joints. Need to release it. Now. He channels the energy into his lightsaber, supercharging the blade. Then, throws. The lightsaber spins through the air, blazing blue and white, lightning wrapped around it, screaming toward Palpatine. Palpatine tries to dodge, too close, too fast. The blade shears through his side, burning, cutting, agony. He stumbles, gasping, blood and dark side energy leaking from the wound. Obi-Wan presses the attack, Soresu transitioning to Ataru, acrobatic fast exploiting Palpatine's injury. Palpatine defends desperately, but he's weakening. The wound is severe, bleeding too much. He tries his signature move, the one that disarmed Mace Windu. Blade twist, wrist manipulation. But Anakin knows it. Vader learned every Palpatine technique, every trick, every manipulation. He counters perfectly. Locks Palpatine's blade, twists opposite direction. Palpatine's lightsaber flies from his grip, clatters across the floor. Both Jedi advance. Anakin's blade at his throat, Obi-Wan's at his heart. Palpatine kneels, defeated, bleeding, dying. You could have been my greatest weapon, he gasps. Yellow eyes dimming. Anakin looks down at him. No hatred, no anger, just certainty. I'm not a weapon. I'm a husband. I'm a father. And I'm free. Cross at Palpatine's neck. One strike. The head of Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith, falls. His body dissolves into ash, dark side energy dissipating, screaming into the Force. Then silence. Dead. Finally. Permanently. Completely. Anakin and Obi-Wan stand over the ashes, breathing hard, lightsabers still ignited. It's over, Obi-Wan says quietly. No. Anakin deactivates his blade, looks at his brother. It's just beginning. Hours later, Senate chamber, secured, medical teams treating wounded senators, bodies removed, damage assessment ongoing. Padmé, alive, unharmed. Bail and Mon Mothma safe. The coalition survived. Jedi Masters arrived too late for the fight. But in time for the aftermath, Mace Windu stands before Anakin and Obi-Wan. You killed him, Palpatine, the Sith Lord. Yes, Anakin says simply. Order 66 was triggered but failed. Clones across the galaxy reported garbled commands. Nothing executed. I corrupted the protocol 2 nights ago. Virus in the clone network. Made it useless. Mace studies him. You knew about Order 66 before today. Yes. How? Anakin meets his eyes. Because in another life I helped execute it. I led the 501st into the temple. Killed everyone. Including the younglings. Became Darth Vader, Palpatine's enforcer. For 23 years. Then died redeemed by my son. And the Force gave me those memories to stop it this time. Silence. Council masters exchange glances. Yoda steps forward. Felt great change in you, I did. 2 futures you carry. One dark, one light. Chose love. Master Yoda. I'm married to Padmé Amidala. She's pregnant with twins. I broke the code. 13 years of teaching. All of it. For her. For our children. For a future worth living. Anakin. The code exists for a reason. Attachment leads... To what? Anakin interrupts. Voice hard. To darkness? I've been darkness, Master Windu. I've lived it. Breathed it. Suffered it for decades. You know what created Vader. Not love. Fear of love. Fear of loss. Fear of attachment. That's what Palpatine exploited. He steps forward. The code is wrong about attachment. Wrong about emotion. Wrong about love. I saved the galaxy not by suppressing my feelings, but by trusting them. By loving Padmé enough to tell her the truth. By trusting Obi-Wan enough to confess. By fighting for something beyond duty. Beyond code. Beyond order. Silence. Heavy. Obi-Wan speaks. He's right, Masters. I've watched the Jedi Order my entire life. Seen its strengths and weaknesses. We've become so rigid. So dogmatic. We've forgotten what we're supposed to protect. People. Their lives. Their loves. Their freedom. Mace looks between them. What are you saying? Anakin takes a breath. I'm resigning from the Jedi Order. Effective immediately. I'm leaving with Padmé to Naboo to raise our children in peace. Away from war. Politics. All of it. Saved the Republic, you have. Destroyed the Sith. Prevented genocide. The Order owes you a debt beyond measure. I don't need the debt paid, Master Yoda. I just need permission to live my life my way. Yoda smiles. Small. Sad. Always had permission. Just never asked. Go, young Skywalker. Live well. Love deeply. A Jedi you have always been, in the truest sense. Go in peace. Anakin bows. Deep. Respectful. Thank you, Master. He turns to Obi-Wan. Brother, will you? I'm staying. Obi-Wan says gently. Someone has to help rebuild the Order properly. Teach a new way. Besides, he smiles. Someone needs to keep an eye on the Council. Make sure they don't backslide. Anakin embraces him. Thank you. For everything. For training me. For trusting me. For being my brother. Always. Obi-Wan whispers. May the Force be with you, Anakin, and with you. They release. Anakin walks out of the temple for the last time. Not as a Jedi. As a free man. 6 months later. Naboo. Lake country. Small house. Peaceful. Isolated. Beautiful. Gardens surrounding it, flowers blooming in colors that don't exist on Coruscant. Water lapping at the shore. Life. Padmé lies in bed. Medical droids attending. Contractions close together. Anakin holds her hand beside her. You're doing great. Almost there. Easy for you to say, she gasps. Squeezes his hand hard enough to hurt. Medical droid. First baby crowning. Push. Senator. Padmé pushes. Screaming. Straining. A cry. Small. Perfect. Beautiful. It's a boy, the droid announces. Anakin cuts the cord with shaking hands. Takes the baby. Tiny. Wrinkled. perfect. Luke, he says, tears streaming down his face. His name is Luke. This is his son, the boy who saved him, redeemed him, believed in him when no one else did. Now born into a world of peace, not war. Second baby coming, the droid says. Minutes later, another cry. Girl. Padmé reaches for her. Leia. We'll call her Leia. Anakin holds both twins, one in each arm, Luke and Leia. His children, alive, healthy, safe. In another timeline, they were born orphaned, separated, hidden, raised apart. This time they'll know both parents. No love. No peace. Padmé smiles, exhausted, radiant, alive. We did it, Ani. We saved them. We saved everyone. He leans down, kisses her. Thank you for trusting me, for fighting with me, for loving me. Always. 2 years later, epilogue, same house, garden, sunset, Luke and Leia playing. Toddlers chasing butterflies, laughing. Anakin sits on the veranda watching, Padmé beside him, hand in his. Do you still remember, she asks quietly. The other timeline. Every day, he says, Mustafar, the suit, your death, all of it. But it's fading. Slowly, replaced by this, by them, by you. Good. That future is dead. This one is real. They watch their children play. The Republic dissolved peacefully after Palpatine's death. The Galactic Alliance formed. Padmé led the transition, then retired to raise her family. The Clone Wars ended within weeks. Separatist leadership surrendered without coordination. Peace treaties signed. Clones granted citizenship. Many retired. Others joined Alliance defense forces as professionals, not slaves. The Jedi Order reformed slowly. Obi-Wan and Yoda leading changes. Attachments allowed. Families permitted. Dogma eased. A new generation of Jedi learning balance between duty and love. And here on Naboo, Anakin Skywalker lives a quiet life. Husband. Father. Free man. Sometimes he teaches Luke about the Force. Simple lessons. Feeling. Connection. Life. No Jedi dogma. No Sith corruption. Just truth about balance. Light and dark. Love and choice. What will you tell them? Padmé asks. When they're older. About what you prevented. I'll tell them the truth, Anakin says. That I was given a choice. To see the worst version of myself and become someone better. That love saved me. Not power. Not destiny. Love. Luke runs over. Daddy. Watch. Uses the Force to lift a flower unsteadily. Anakin smiles. Helps him stabilize it. Good, Luke. Very good. Feel the life in it. The connection to everything. Like you taught me. Yes. Exactly like I taught you. Leia joins, trying to lift a rock. Struggling. I can't do it. You will. Anakin encourages. Just takes practice. Trust yourself. Feel the Force. It's always there. She tries again. The rock wobbles. Lifts slightly. I did it. Yes, you did. I'm proud of you both. They run off, playing again. Padmé leans against Anakin. This is what you were meant to protect, what the Force wanted you to choose. Not power, Anakin agrees. Not destiny, not prophecy. Just this. Love, family, peace. The simple things that matter most. The sun sets over Naboo's lake, golden light reflecting off the water. Somewhere in another timeline, Darth Vader died, redeemed but broken. Here, Anakin Skywalker lives. Whole, healed, free. Because he made a different choice. Because he trusted instead of feared. Because he loved instead of grasped. And that made all the difference. The galaxy at peace. Children safe. Wife alive. Future bright. This is what the Chosen One was always meant to be. Not a weapon. Not a destroyer. Not a savior through suffering. A protector through love. A savior through choice. Balance through truth. Anakin Skywalker. Finally at peace. Finally free. Finally home. And the Force. Finally, truly in balance too. Let us know what you'd like to see next. The end.